Let's check our casebook, see what we got going on. Okay, we got some side cases, some stories. Room full of artifacts and curiosities on the ground floor near a rather memorable. I mean, there's no door there, so that's clearly not it.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall. It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible. It must have been something else.
Fake mermaid?
Oh, of course. That mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us. The workers took the artifact and placed it into the cabinet of curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that.
Okay. And now go into the cabinet
Yes,
of curiosities.
my mother's studio. She was an authenticator, and this was her cabinet of curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
Oh, Watkinson and Holman. Chapter 1.
Watkinson and
Suspicious.
Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace Dioram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down.
I'll be right back momentarily. I have to turn off my drive. I had been hoping it would finish before the stream started, so that way we could just, not have that minor interruption, but what are you gonna do?
I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
Diving suit.
So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand. Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting. Officer Luciano J. Placido.
You that guy that the dude that we had to find in the one side quest?
Carefully opened. Dated 24th of April, 1869.
Interesting.
This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Huh, Sherry?
Fine.
Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
We closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
He opened the door to the postman, and they exchanged documents. If it was a real postman, of course. The painting on the wall was slightly atilt. He stopped and straightened it. Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if... A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it?
Hey, a key.
I think this is what we're looking for.
I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here? It's a pity how many amazing things are missing from this room. We made it. So what's there?
Gifted by Queen Victoria herself. Single malt whiskey, Mycroft's favourite. Otto Richter. This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research.
Half-brother, huh? Wonder who that could be.
Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met. (1852), Bingley, West Yorkshire. This photo caused a lot of fuss. My mother spent some time to prove it was a fake.
Oh, right, because the little cherub thing's in it.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
Cthulhu? Hello, Bargoose. That's definitely a Cthulhu.
The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man. And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets.
Uh-huh. I feel like this is maybe not a great idea, but okay. Imaginary friend John. What? Oh wait, they haven't been trying to hide that fact at all.
Clearly, it was deliberately torn. I wonder why someone would do that. The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject.
Uh. oh, Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Wonder who Otto's brother could be. Probably no one that's we've met already. Probably not.
The full plate armour of Sir Robert Swanford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armour is armour, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
I'm starting to remember something.
There ain't no other connections there. Here.
Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
Oh, he gave it fake fangs. Let's see. Look at this polar bear.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable.
Gonna be honest, I thought that was just bad graphics. And we can't look at the diving suit at all.
I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what, and we didn't have a great view from behind the statue. Books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it.
Recreation time. Alright, let's do this in what was probably the order. I mean, I guess it would have to be that one then. Here's where my failings of the Sherlock Holmes type come into play. I'm guessing it was nothing so fanciful as the armor coming to life.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
How do you know that? Because we got up there to grab the thing. that makes
Come on,
sense.
Sherry. Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them.
Uh-huh.
I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out.
Hold on, I need to look at this goblet first.
Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him.
Alright, Watkins and Holman, Chapter 1. Viking helmet, that thing. I mean, I assume we have to go out into the hallway to finish this up, but... yeah.
Oh, I remember these. We used them to spar together until Mycroft found out and forbade us from using real weapons.
Okay, that appears to be everything. We can't look at Cthulhu.
When you're finished here, can we build a wigwam from the blankets? Like in the good old days? Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
Hmm.
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
Did I find everything then? Yep, just a normal guy going out on the town with his imaginary friend. Nothing to see here.
The full plate armour of Sir Robert Saunford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Okay, right, did that. Got all these. Vikings didn't have those. Was actually a man. The fact that you don't have armor in your home is honestly a little surprising to me. Unless it's in your shed. This was the little angel photograph.
It's a pity how many amazing things are missing from this room.
I don't see anything else, so I guess I must have found everything. To the party. North Grand Surrey. Turquoise Lane. Across from, okay, so this must be Cordona Abbey, so we're going here-ish. Don't mind me, just your average, normal, everyday guy coming through. You don't know, maybe I've gotta go get tea or get in a queue.
Nice to see you.
There's the Abbey. Oh, cool, we're joining a cult of some kind.
Welcome, sir. I do hope you enjoy yourself.
Enjoy the evening, sir. There is still plenty of time before the grand finale. All right.
You know, initially I was thinking this
What
would
if I
just be
write
a
an
murder
article
cult.
about these people here? Can you help me gather information about Cordona's elite?
Hunting performer lives by the shore. Affable.
You have such pretty hands. What can you do with them?
I'm so excited about the event.
Do not distract me. It's not easy to play blindfolded.
But that lover.
Ready for the big whirlwind? Danny is around.
My goodness, Sherlock. They made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine. Gahor, is it a guess?
I've worked up an appetite since the last party.
Ooh, he evades taxes.
I need a rest from my insatiable wife.
My husband thinks I am playing bridge here.
But instead, I'm standing by myself drinking wine.
I guarantee you will have a good time.
Honey, you feeling lonely?
I'll be your friend.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come.
I wasn't expecting to find Werner back here. Werner.
Werner, I see you are not yourself. The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer. And what is on offer today? Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not? Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it. Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes. Huh. You may be right. Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly not in a house filled with such melancholic memories. I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected. I'm less confident in my life and myself. Time of relaxation seems a distant dream. So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, and something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. A 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it. My mind already operates at a far higher level than most. I struggle to believe anything could improve it. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is. Duty? You've never cared about that before. Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility. That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next, visit the victims, ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't? You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant. With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility. I haven't. Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction. If this solution truly does assist with thinking, then perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me. Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Ah, yes,
Pardon?
the murder part
Altar
of the
room.
cult.
What now, Werner? Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a minute.
Okay, but I haven't completed John's challenge yet. Quality.
Look, I'm an outlaw.
Nancho's had to enforce the masks after the scandal.
Uncover the identity disclosure scandal. Damn it. The one thing I don't understand here.
Nancho's had to enforce...
Okay. Vice Governor Cowden.
That's what I like about this party. Bring me more dirt, Sherry. One more piece, and I can expose these base hedonists.
I have to find more? No. Alright, back to it. Let's find the good shit.
Enjoy the event, sir.
I'm guessing it's probably something else we'll need to overhear.
Curtains do not guarantee privacy.
And you still need a crack, despite being ethereal.
I'm coming, Sherry. Just give me another second. One of these books must open a secret passage. I know it.
Well-known and recent plays to keep up to date with the current trends. These medieval botany and chemistry books look even more satanic than the occult ones. Romantic poetry and prose. Someone's in touch with their feelings. Codex Orchis. Why does this occult book sound like a flower?
I don't want to get too close to that door in case it triggers the next story thing.
Oh, hey, handsome. I see that look in your eyes.
Want to go somewhere more private?
I should write to my friend about the handsome men here. He'd appreciate it. Let me see that stallion up close.
Ogle's gallery has a backer, I see.
You know what was here before Mancho's family.
Yes, I'm clearly not listening in. Ignore me. Find out the eerie history of the mansion. Yep. Hey, you did better at that one.
I'll pin them down with this scoop. Thank you, Sherlock.
Hey. Key to the altar room of the mansion.
I'm so excited about the event.
You have such pretty hands. What can you do with them?
Hey, handsome, I see that look in your eyes.
I'm a little nervous. Another glass should calm me down.
Oh, I heard the finale will be splendid.
Oh, don't act like you haven't thought about it, darling.
I know the perfect girl for you.
All those beauties. Mancho's is the best, as always.
Ready for the big whirlwind? Danny is around.
I've worked up an appetite since the last party.
Something about your wife, something about husband. Talk to you, talk to you.
Let me see that stallion up close.
You?
Ah, I know the perfect girl for you.
I guarantee we'll have a good time.
Let me know if you need anything, sir.
Honey, you feeling lonely?
Okay.
I'll be your friend.
Yeah, okay, I think I talked to everyone. No one had anything interesting to say. There doesn't appear to be anything else to look at. To the murder room.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
You know, I was thinking the murder would be the big final thing that happened.
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony. This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly. This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus drawn in a hurry. The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars. A blunt force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. This golden handle has a bloodstain on it.
We just put the murder weapon in my pocket.
The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood. The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. This crude tattoo partially covers a slave branding. He died right here.
Alright, well, if the murderer, the sacrifice isn't the grand finale, what the hell is the grand finale? Okay, we can go into the dressing room. Not to you yet.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion. Why don't people tidy up after themselves? Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened. An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Looks like Fabio was probably wanged in the head with that.
The wounded person was here for some time. A bloody handprint on an armchair. A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar. The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it. Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain. Identical to the robes the guests are wearing. Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set. This is a different ritual.
Oh, so you start with the sacrifice, and then you do the sex part of the ritual. Got it.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio. The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me.
Would you recognise me in one of these? I suppose not.
Similar to the guest's robes, apart from the bloodstains. Similar to the guest's robes, apart from the bloodstains.
Okay. What's that? Alright, let's talk to Vogel.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner. What is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere. Often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh. Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were...
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
I don't know what you're talking about. Seems totally normal to me. Just average, everyday cult member here.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil... Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
Oh.
The intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks.
How can you even see his...
Marks
Never
the start
mind.
of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later, only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
Uh-huh.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps,
Well, I have lots of ideas.
I think I can deduce what happened here.
I'm sorry, you meant Sherlock, not me. Alright, let's recreate this. Ba-ba-ba. And that checks out. Oh. Bonk. That one seems correct. Yep, it was definitely the training dummy. The other one for this. Yes, that one seems more likely. You had to bonk him on the head to get him here. No. Also no. There we go, we got that one, and then this one. See what we got. Oh yes,
the bottle
first
was used as a
try.
weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you alright? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
I have some idea where I'm going with this. And it's more on that side of thing.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all. The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry. I know you can untangle this mess.
Golden stars. Okay. Flat Earther.
Kurt Manchios, I presume? I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined.
Yeah.
I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on? Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
What are the cops doing here? Someone forgot to pay their bribe. Cop is about to go ham on that waiter, and he literally is on his knees. That makes 100% sense, I guess. It is the cop after all. Although this is also a rich person party,
Committed
which is
a crime.
confusing.
Now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologise for the inconvenience, Your Grace.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in this letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig? Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate? I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
Well, I managed to collect all the evidence, apparently. Right, yep, they arrested us because we literally took that dagger. That's great. Who could have ever foreseen removing evidence from a crime scene would come back to bite us in the ass?
Back on track to solve the case.
Santos Pinchetti, eh? Case number 62-60. Fun. Oops. Already put those two together. Alright. Change clothes here. Apparently I had to move 2 inches to the right. Clearly, we should make ourselves look like a cop for this.
Look, I found Werner.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they
his
refused
brother,
to let
huh?
you go.
Wonder who that
They
could be.
require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
I'm not gonna lie for you.
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
You're the one that sent the invitation.
I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti.
Do I know him?
The major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you?
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him. I know you can untangle this mess.
Well, I was really banking on getting more information from him, but whatever. Alright, let's see here. Going in there.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Let's observe, shall we? Ooh. Of course. Leaning more towards this one.
You have both old and new scars. Some from the time when you were a slave with Fabio. Other scars have a different origin. The guests pay good money to torment you?
I am skilled in giving pleasure, but I don't participate in such practices.
I thought your body was...
For sale? It's true. Many unwanted things were done to my body. And the pain helped me to discover...
Occult deities? Yes, the tattoo speaks loudly of it.
Yes. Your gods abandoned me, and the ones I favor now are more protective of me.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Cordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes. I know I can handle the news.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it that way. Because, you know, she was a slave. See what this guy has to say.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
I'm almost more on stickler for cleanliness than him trying to hide his age. But I don't know. Go with that one, I guess.
You are so focused on cleanliness that these products are severely damaging your skin.
I would laugh at you. Ha! If only my cheeks didn't hurt. Not exactly. I try to take care of my body. A young man who has yet to confront his own aging couldn't hope to understand.
These chemicals are quite literally melting your face.
Ah, the price of beauty. I'll be fine, I'm sure of it.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here, with you alone.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds
other
who are able to
rich.
leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see.
I mean, he's part of a, like, what is it, Eyes Wide Shut or whatever kind of sex murder cult.
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
No.
Possibly. What about the
Not
other
that.
guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services. You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Well, I'm thinking it was either him or, you know, someone else.
I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. You'd better ask someone else.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Hey. I'm not yet on the Manchios definitely murdered him train. And I'm not leaning toward Matista yet either. I'm still on the Pinchetti train here. We'll see how the evidence shakes out. And this is the room we started out in.
What a long day. Long day.
Don't look at them. They'll serve us if necessary.
I'm glad they let them keep their eyes wide shut costumes.
I'll visit.
I don't have anything I need to look up in the archive. I need to go to the evidence room.
Did you hear Basilio Copello is in jail? A dead body was found in his showroom.
Hello's company.
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
Chief Inspector Placido.
So much work, so little time.
Evidence room.
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
Where is it?
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
Alright, let's see what we got.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
You know, just another day in Cordona.
Not the time for privacy. An emergency kit for boredom. A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings. Her key to the altar room. That's not for bedtime reading.
Maybe not for you, Sherlock.
This Ex Libris belongs to Manchios Library. The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room.
It does seem a little more damning. Oh, here we go.
Werner's personal sketchbook. Thank you, officer.
We can probably talk to Matista about that. We can talk to Werner about that. And then I'm not sure what to do about this Santos is the suspect thing. Maybe we can talk to the detective? What? Alright, let's get back to it. Go see. I talked to you, you're nothing. Little detective boy, Sherlock Holmes.
Would you like to report a crime?
I don't know nothing about no crimes.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here.
Thank you.
They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Alright, there we go. Let's go talk to Pinchetti. Three, 4, 6, 5, 7.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Wow. How wonderful. A jar of mustache wax and a salt lamp. I see no reason why he wouldn't be salty about that.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And it
And
wasn't
I
even
read it.
close to a good
You
pun,
forgot
but
to mention
I
that you
liked
hold
it.
the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Observe. Hmm. Look at the state of this guy. I mean, I'm not thinking it's that. I'm thinking it's this, which is why he was begging him to put him in the will.
You are the majordomo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Uh-huh.
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always, Fabio-centric?
Amatista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Okay.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a majordomo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Uh-huh.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a majordomo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Ah, I'm sensing some motivations for murder here. You know, just one or two. Ah. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about with people, but I think we're gonna call it here tonight. A little bit early, but we're at a good stopping point, I think. All right.